Hey all! With Halo Infinite on the horizon, I felt I'd make an everything you need to know type series. Today, I'm gonna answer a question. What the heck is the UNSC? In this episode, we'll explain what it is, give a brief overview of its various branches, and talk about its purposes and functions. A lot of what I mention here will get their own videos as there's simply too much lore for me to cover within a short and reasonable amount of time. So keep an eye out for those. Please consider liking and subscribing, it really helps me out and enables me to make more of these. That said, grab your tea, grab a snack, sit back, and relax. The UNSC, also known as the United Nations Space Command, is the military arm of Earth. It has three primary missions. 1. Enforce and maintain the policies of the United Earth Government. 2. Secure and patrol the territories of Earth. And 3. Protect the human species as a whole from outside forces and ensure its ongoing survival. The third one was more recent, but we'll get to that another time. The UNSC has a simple structure. Everything falls under High Command, HICOM for short. HICOM is overseen by the UNSC Security Council. The members of said council include the Chief of Naval Operations, Commander-in-Chief of the Marines, Commander-in-Chief of the Army, Commander-in-Chief of the Air Force, Commander-in-Chief of the Office of Naval Intelligence, and Commander-in-Chief of the Spartans. Furthermore, HICOM divides its military branches into two sections: UNSC Navy Command, NAVCOM for short, which primarily contains the UNSC Navy, and Unified Ground Command, UNICOM for short. UNICOM is in charge of organizing quite a bit. The UNICOM organization manages the UNSC Army, Air Force, Marines, and Spartan Operations. I won't go too in depth here as all of these deserve their own videos, so here's a quick summary of each branch. The UNSC Navy's purpose is to engage in space warfare. Typically it's relegated to orbital defense, but it is not unfamiliar with launching offensive campaigns. The UNSC Army's role is to fight the enemy on the ground. It's their job to play a vital role in planetary defense. In some ways, you could consider them the first line of defense, second only to the Navy. The UNSC Air Force is responsible for both atmospheric operations and orbital defense, and it's not uncommon to see them working with the Navy. The UNSC Marine Corps plays the role of expeditionary forces. It's not uncommon to see them working with the Army, but unlike the Army, they perform many other roles. This includes defending Navy ships from boarding parties, counterattacks, offensive operations, boarding enemy ships, and quick reaction. The Marines have their own contingent of troopers to perform special operations known as ODSTs, Orbital Drop Shock Troopers. These soldiers are some of the best and deserve their own video.
Here, let me give him my welcome to Earth gift basket.
Then there is Spartan Operations. Spartans are augmented super soldiers whom are widely considered the best humanity has to offer. The history behind them is rich, and like the other branches, they will be getting their own video too, but here's a basic summary. You have 4 categories of Spartans, but really only 3 are actually Spartans, whereas 1 is only technically a form of Spartan. You have the Orion candidates, essentially the UNSC's first attempt at a true super soldier. They weren't on the level of the Spartans of today, but for the time they definitely knew how to fight. A beloved Halo character, Sergeant Major Avery Johnson, was one of these candidates. While they were very good at their jobs, the UNSC eventually shut the program down. The Spartan Twos were created by Dr. Catherine Halsey. Due to the complex story of this one, please understand that for time and simplicity's sake, I am leaving a lot out of this. Roughly 75 candidates were recruited as children to be trained from an early age. At the age of 14, their bodies were altered and many of the candidates did not survive the process. We know at the very least a little more than 33 of the Spartan 2 candidates went on to the next phase, Mjolnir. The Mjolnir-powered assault armor is as famous as the Spartans, and is what enables the Spartans to do the impossible on a routine basis. John 117, the Master Chief, whom the games primarily follow, was one of the Spartan 2s. There are also rumors of a second class of Spartan 2s, but we know very little about them. The Spartan 3s were recruited from the large population of orphan children fleeing from the destruction of their homeworlds and families. Trained by Spartan Kurt 051, the 3 companies of Spartan 3s, Alpha, Beta, and Gamma, were ruthless and efficient. However, these Spartans were often tasked with suicidal missions. Alpha Company was completely wiped out, Beta had a mere 2 survivors. Gamma, however, did not get the chance to deploy in any official capacity. However, they did play a vital role in the Onyx conflict. Spartan Fours are the latest generation of Spartans. Unlike the 2s and 3s, Fours are an all-volunteer force of skilled veterans of the Human Covenant War. These Spartans are highly trained and skilled, having proved themselves in combat without augmentations in armor beforehand. They are the most numerous form of Spartans, and form the basis of the Spartan branch. Surviving Spartan 2s and 3s also fall under the Spartan branch. Lastly, there is the Office of Naval Intelligence, ONI for short. While it technically falls under the Unsc Navy, it is more than important enough to be mentioned. ONI's role in human society is complex and cannot be summarized quickly, but to say the least, it does many things. From espionage to the study of alien technology, ONI's job is more clandestine. In fact, it is so clandestine that it operates well beyond intelligence gathering. Some would call it a shadow government of sorts. The Unsc also has more than just military-related roles. It also plays a vital role in the research and development of new technologies, as well as the exploration of new worlds, and even in some cases, diplomacy. The UNSC has a long and rich history and has seen plenty of action. These conflicts can include the Mars Campaign, the Interplanetary Wars, the Intercolony Wars, the Insurrection, the Human Covenant War, the Creative Conflict, and more. As you can see, there is a lot to Halo, and I encourage you to explore the lore if you're new. And if you don't have the time for that, that's okay. I'm gonna make a habit of uploading more videos like this, and I intend to make a fully fledged playlist for people who want to get into Halo lore. So if you're interested, please consider subscribing and hitting the bell icon, and if you want to actually know when I upload because YouTube doesn't say shit, feel free to join my Discord. I'm there all the time. That said, have a lovely day, and I will see you in the cosmos, friends.